Where exactly would you have to shoot a moving car to make it unable to drive anymore? The movies always shows people shooting out the tires. Is that actually possible? And would there be other spots? Right in the driver. I saw Bo and Luke Duke do it with arrows. But when they really wanted to stop a car, they used dynamite on the arrow and shot the road just in front of the vehicle. Because, you know, having guns on probation is a no-no, but dynamite-tipped arrows is just fine. The driver's side door as many times as you can. Yes, you can shoot rubber tires. Engine block would disable it totally. Straight through the driver's side window. Radiator is pretty easily accessible and fragile. I guess you could try to hit the gas tank. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't explode. But they'll run out of gas. Or the driver. Driver. 100 The driver. Windows. Can't see. Can't drive. Everything else is high luck and not immediate. For example, if you lucked out and hit the battery, the engine is still capable of making its own electricity and will drive. If you hit a fuel line, there's still fuel left in the engine itself to drive for a few. If you're thinking about shooting something that would make it go boom. Yeah, that doesn't really happen. Maybe if you happen to hit the engine just right and loses all oil, that might stop it. Better question is with what? The tires are relatively easy. Hitting the driver requires a more skilled marksman with a rifle, at least from some distance, and a kill shot. The average hillbilly from America is missing anything vital from any reasonable distance. Most of the components that create and deliver power to the wheels are pretty robust. But there are some sensitive components such as fuel lines, electrical cables, etc. that could be damaged reliably. Unloading into the front of the car, i.e. the radiator, would cause a car to overheat and seize up in time. In the driver. Tires? Sure. Engine? Sure. Driver? Most definitely. The driver, I'd reckon. Fuel pump or fuel line. In the driver's head, it at least wouldn't be driving much longer on most cases. I didn't realize how many Redditors specialize in murder. In the driver. Shoot it while being the hero in a movie. Really all it would take is a .22 LR to the radiator. My car stopped dead in its tracks with a hairline crack near the reservoir. I mean, I guess I could have kept going, but with all the smoke from burning coolant and an empty reservoir, I don't know for how long. Through the driver's side headrest. The driver. I've seen enough movies. As long as you are the hero and we are all the hero of our own story, hitting it anywhere with a small caliber round should make it go up in a fireball. If you know where they are, the ECM, fuse box, battery, or ignition coils, would be game over pretty much immediately. You can certainly shoot out tires if you're a pretty good shot at a moving target. Many vehicle immobilization in war zones are via .50 anti-material rifle to the engine block. The blinker fluid holder, obviously. .22 caliber to the computer. It'll just go in one side and rattle around till it's dead. Right in the grille and hood. You'll put holes in the radiator, making it impossible for the cooling system to work, which will take a bit of time, but right behind that is the engine and all the pumps and supporting systems that keep the car running. You might hear that the best place to take cover behind a car is behind the engine, but this doesn't mean the engine is bulletproof in terms of it not being damaged by bullets. Just that it's a big ol' hunk of metal that will stop the bullets before they get to you. Put a hole in the engine and it'll be done running very soon. With a lot of luck you might disconnect the battery and the alternator. I guess you might also luck out and destroy the AQ. which can kill the car. In the head. The radiator is the most vulnerable part of nearly any car's front end. Puncture that and it will overheat and blow the engine within a few minutes if that. Are we shooting to only disable the car? Or, done both? With an M2, you can punch holes through the motor. But you can also turn an unarmored car into Swiss cheese. With something like an M240, you still can try to disable the engine. But your best bet is to riddle the driver's area. With smaller, just dump rounds into the side of the door or into the windshield. If you manage to crack the engine block, it's done. The best place to shoot a vehicle in order to make it stop is about 6 inches above the steering wheel. Now I want to see a slow motion video of a bullet going through a turbo that's already spooled up. Radiator first. That's easy to puncture. Then tires. That car is disabled. Sure, you could go as far as the engine block yada yada, but unnecessary. Shoot. You could do it all with a knife. Depends. Do you mean make it come to a halt almost immediately? Tire won't do that. Nor will a hole in the radiator. Immediately would be either kill the driver or shoot the engine in a way that makes it seize. So, you're going to need to be more accurate than shoot through the grille. I'd say the windscreen. The driver cannot drive the car if he recently has had a bullet implanted into his head. When you use an M203, you can pretty much hit whatever part of the car you want. I scream at cop shows. Lol. The radiator. 5 minutes later. Car overheats. Slows. And comes to a safe. Slow stop. Large target that stops the bullet. 0.50 calories to block is the best way to stop a vehicle. Once the engine chews itself up, it locks up, forcing the drive chain to lock and the vehicle skids to a stop. If the vehicle is armored like VBIED, you blow the vehicle up as far away as possible. Oil pan for sure. Turn signals. They couldn't turn and would be easy to track until they ran out of gas. Driver, engine block, tires. In that order. Right in the driver. The nut behind the wheel. Thank God most of the answers are the driver. Everything else is shoot the gun out of the guy's hand tier. Engines will work when shot. When you need a car stopped, now you kill the driver. Radiator. If you get one of the headlights, they won't be able to drive at night. The front windshield. If you shoot it, it will crack all around, making it impossible for the driver to see where he is driving unless he sticks his head out of the window. In the driver. Shoot the engine block. If you have a rifle, if you have a pistol, probably best to shot the driver. The driver is the best place. In the driver. You need to provide more information. I'm buzzed and a nerd. You trying to stop it in as short a distance as possible? Just cause its operation to be ended regardless of where it comes to a halt? Or just neutralize the occupant? Same place as people. Liquid. A former soldier told me this. It's shockingly simple and frightening. In a firefight, your goal is to drain as much water as possible from the other guy before he drains yours. Large caliber to the engine block is instant stop. Medium caliber 32-38 go for the front tires. Small arms 22 or birdshot. Radiator 50 cal to the engine block. 12 gauge double-aught buck. Enough damage to electronics and wiring to shut it down fairly.